a message appears on your phone and everything shifts. Not because of what the text says, because of who sent it. A woman you barely spoke to 3 weeks ago, now reaching out unprompted, asking when you're free, suggesting coffee, the kind of attention that used to take effort, games, strategizing. Now it just arrives. This is what happens when you begin retaining your seed. The shift doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It moves through you like rising water, invisible at first, then undeniable. Women feel it before you understand it yourself. The energy changes everything. When you stop releasing, your body doesn't waste what it worked to create. Semen carries nutrients, hormones, minerals, building blocks meant to generate life. When constantly expelled, the system scrambles to replace what was lost. Energy drains into production instead of presence. Retention flips the equation. Your body recycles those resources. Testosterone stabilizes higher. Zinc, magnesium, and vital compounds flood back into circulation. Your nervous system calms. Your eyes sharpen. Posture straightens without conscious thought. Women notice before you do. It begins with the gaze. As a retained man, you carry something in your eyes that most men have dimmed through years of scattered release. Not aggression, not desperation. Depth, the kind of focus that suggests you see through surfaces into something real. When you look at a woman, she feels seen, not scanned, not assessed like prey, but acknowledged as something worth attention. That gaze doesn't beg, it offers. And scarcity always draws interest. Most men leak their energy through constant glances, endless scrolling, chasing validation in pixels. You withdraw that spray of attention. You become selective. Rare. Women unconsciously register the shift. She wonders why you aren't trying. And that question lodges in her mind. Then comes the presence. Walk into a bar after 60 days of retention. The air feels different, not because the room changed, because the energy field around you expands like slow heat. You move with less hurry. Speak with fewer words. Don't fill silence with nervous laughter or approval-seeking banter. Your calm becomes magnetic because it's so uncommon. In a world of men chasing, performing, explaining themselves into irrelevance, stillness stands out like fire in snow. Women unconsciously drift closer. They ask questions. They linger near your orbit, not because you're performing attraction, because you stopped leaking the desperation that repels it. Your voice deepens. Testosterone doesn't just build muscle, it thickens vocal cords. Your voice drops half an octave over weeks. Not dramatically, subtly, enough that when you speak, it resonates differently. Women are wired to respond to lower frequencies. Evolutionarily, depth signals strength, maturity, stability. You don't need to raise your volume. Your words land heavier because the instrument delivering them has changed. She hears you across the room and turns. She listens closer when you talk. Your silence between sentences doesn't feel awkward, it feels intentional. And intention is attractive. Confidence shifts from performance to essence. Most men manufacture confidence. They rehearse lines. They fake certainty. They perform dominance like actors uncertain of the script. Retention removes the performance. When you stop chasing dopamine spikes through release, your nervous system recalibrates. Anxiety drops. Decision-making sharpens. The constant hum of insecurity quiets. You walk into conversations without needing them to validate you. You can let a joke fall flat without scrambling to recover. You can disagree without fearing rejection. Women sense this instantly. She tests you with small challenges, subtle provocations. You don't react. Don't defend. Don't chase her approval. And that non-reaction, rooted in genuine indifference to outcomes, triggers something primal. She begins to chase. Your body transforms visibly. Retention doesn't build muscle alone, but paired with training, the results amplify. Testosterone surges. Recovery speeds up. Workouts feel less like punishment, more like channeling raw energy into form. Your shoulders broaden. Jawline sharpens as water retention drops. Skin clears because your body isn't constantly taxed, replacing lost fluids and nutrients. Even your scent changes. Pheromones shift when hormone levels stabilize. Women pick up on these signals below conscious awareness. Her biology reads your vitality and translates it into attraction. She doesn't know why she's drawn. She just is. Then comes the disinterest that drives her wild. Here's the paradox. The less you need her attention, the more she offers it. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes. Stop crafting perfect responses. Stop wondering if she's interested, not because you're playing games, because your energy is invested elsewhere. In your mission, your growth, your purpose, she texts. You reply hours later, not strategically, because you were genuinely occupied with something that mattered more than digital validation. That delay, that absence of neediness creates tension, and tension is the fuel of attraction. She starts wondering what you're doing, why you aren't chasing, if she's losing your interest. And in that wondering, the dynamic flips. She becomes the pursuer. Social proof multiplies effortlessly. When one woman shows interest, others notice. Female attraction operates partly through social validation. If she sees value, others assume it exists. You naturally draw attention. Women approach more, smile longer, initiate conversations. Other women observe this. Suddenly, you're not just another guy. You're the man women compete for without you lifting a finger. You become the center of gravity in social settings, not through loud charisma, through quiet magnetism. The energy you've retained creates a field others want to enter. The shift becomes permanent. After months of retention, the changes aren't states, they're traits. Your default mode is calm power. Your voice stays deep. Your gaze stays steady. Your presence stays magnetic. Women don't just chase once, they keep circling back. Ex-girlfriends reappear. Strangers become bold. Opportunities surface that used to require hunting, because you stopped scattering your life force into temporary pleasure and started compounding it into permanent presence. This isn't manipulation. It's biology. When you retain your seed, you activate ancient circuitry, the same energy that could create life redirects into creating presence. Women respond because their instincts recognize vitality. Strength. The rare man who controls himself instead of being controlled by impulse. She doesn't chase because you tricked her. She chases because everything about you, your energy, your gaze, your voice, your calm, signals the kind of man worth pursuing. You don't chase life, life chases you.